and get started. I am calling this meeting to order. It is on. It is Thursday, October 16th, 2025, and it is currently 6:30 p.m. We are here for our Special Taxing District Quarterly Town Council Workshop. Everyone please rise. And Councilmember Fernandez, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And if you can remain standing and bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for bringing us together on this day to hear out our residents, address concerns regarding their specific special taxing districts. As we take this meeting, we also want to lift up prayers for our Miami-Dade County District 13 Commissioner who lost his father very recently. We pray for Rene Garcia's father, that he may be in heaven with you, Lord, and help us to have a good meeting. Amen. You may be seated. All righty. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Fernandez.
Present.
Councilmember Cuadra Garcia is absent. Councilmember Garcia is absent, but he did text me that he is in traffic and he will be here shortly. Councilmember Hertzberg is absent. Councilmember Sanchez.
Present.
Vice Mayor Morera.
Present.
And Mayor Dieguez is absent. You may begin.
Thank you,
The
Madam
meeting.
Clerk. And as a procedural nature before moving on, I will also remind the council, this is a workshop. We do not need a quorum for this workshop. We're not taking action. We're here primarily to listen and engage in good ideas. And then any actions that want to be taken have to be done so at a council meeting. So with that said, very briefly, anything on the order of business, additions, deferrals? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on with the agenda as published and open up for public comments. Madam Clerk, you want to read the rules for public comments?
Yes, first of all, good evening and welcome to the Special Taxing District Workshop. If you're at home and you want to provide us your public comments, please, we always ask you to do so. It's very simple. Just click on the reactions item and select raise hand, and IT will allow you to speak. We'll be affording you 3 minutes to speak. And if you're here for public comments, please, we welcome you just to approach the podium, state your name and address for the record, and as well, we will provide you with 3 minutes. And I always like to stress this, comments or questions from the attending public shall always be directed to the mayor, vice mayor in a courteous tone. And to ensure the orderly conduct and efficiency of the meeting, public comments will always be limited through 3 minutes per person. And please, no clapping, no applauding, heckling, or verbal outburst in support of or in opposition to a speaker. Her remarks shall be permitted. Thank you very much. And again, if you're here for public comments, please just approach the podium and welcome.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Anyone for public comments? Anyone? Going once, going twice. Madam Clerk, is there anyone online?
No, let the record reflect, we don't have any participants.
And you don't need to read them into the record, Madam Clerk, but can you make mention of any written public comments that were
Yes, thank
turned
you.
in ahead of time?
Yes, thank you for the reminder. I did receive, I believe it was early this morning, an email, a written public comment from Mr. Boris Foster. So for purposes of the record, that email was sent to all the elected officials, to the town manager, and to myself. So I just want to state that for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Has anyone changed their mind? Anyone want to come up for public comments? Seeing none, public comments is now closed, and we will move on to staff reports, starting with lake maintenance cycles back to 2 per month. JP?
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Council. So I'm going to start off with discussing lake maintenance cycles. We've reverted back to 2 cycles per month, which is our regular schedule. During the summertime, from June through September, we do increase it to 3 cycles per month. due to during the summer higher temperatures, longer days, increased sunlight, which creates optimal conditions for algae. So now that we're heading into cooler temperatures, we've reverted back to 2 cycles per month. Fish stocking update. Well, first off, do you have any questions on that?
None here. Anyone? No. Continue.
Fish stocking update. It's scheduled to be before the end of this month for Lake Hilda and Lake Patricia. We're expecting to receive 338 bass measuring approximately 2 to 3 inches in length in both Lake Hilda and Lake Patricia. So,
I have a quick question.
go ahead.
Councilman Sanchez.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. So the 2 lakes that we maintain as part of the special taxing district are just those 2 lakes?
That is
so
correct.
No lake inside of Section 1, both Royal Oaks and Loch Lomond, we do not maintain those lakes?
Our only 2 lakes that we maintain is Lake Hilda and Lake Patricia.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, the reason we're doing so now in October is the season is optimal for bass at this time. Typically, it could be anytime. It could be sometime in April or May. We missed that window to do so. Unfortunately, there's a shortage of availability for bass, and so that's why we had to pivot to October. But it is going to be taken care of by the end of this month.
Mr. Vice Mayor?
Councilman Sanchez.
In our lakes, do we have anything that might be considered an invasive species that might be taken away from our fish population when we fill the lakes up with fish?
I mean,
Or at this point, no?
bass in general are aggressors. I guess they're the Titan bass are
Okay.
aggressive. So
Okay.
yeah, I would have to look into it further, but I don't think so.
All right, just wondering.
There shouldn't be any gators in those lakes either. So
I don't think a gator would be considered invasive, though.
I mean, if you're referring to a non-native, I can tell you that Lake Hilda has a goldfish that someone threw in there one day, and it has now gotten literally this big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's beautiful, by the way. It looks like it looks fake. It looks like a mythical animal.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
Sorry, so 338 bass, is that in each lake or?
Each lake, yeah.
Combined?
each lake.
Each lake, okay. And then is that all the fish that were stocked?
I'm sorry.
Is that all, like just the 338 bass?
Yeah.
It sounded like there was a comma after that.
No,
Okay.
per our budgeted funds, that was the allotted amount that we could
Got it.
get.
Are those fish able to lay eggs and increase the fish population as well?
Yeah.
Technically? That's the hope, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jake.
And for no particular reason, how long does it take a 2 to 3 inch bass to become approximately this big? I'm kidding. But you please continue.
Implementation of ID checks at the guard gates. We have already begun as of June 19th. We began our ID checks in Royal Oaks East and Royal Oaks Section 1. And we have since expanded to Miami Lakes Section 1 as of September 20th. We are doing our scheduled hours from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., which aligns with the reduced vehicle activity during those hours. Under this procedure, guards are requesting for ID. They do not have to, the resident or visitor does not have to provide ID. It is a public road. If they say that they don't want to provide ID, the guard will simply say, okay, allow entry, and take a picture of their tag. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
Through the chair.
Go ahead, Councilman Fernandez.
Yes, I would only like to state for the record that Councilmember Ray
Yes.
Garcia has joined the meeting. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Councilman Fernandez.
No, I just wanted to make a comment about it. At least as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I drive in and out of there on a day, not in the evening, not that late, on a daily basis, but I certainly have come in and out, and I think it's working as far as I'm concerned. There have been, on a couple of occasions, a guard not complying with new protocol, and I've addressed it with them. But at least as far as I'm concerned, I think it's working. I think that, you know, at the end of the day, it's another deterrent and another way to make eye contact from the security guard to the driver and let them know that we're aware that they're driving in. That's all it's about anyway. Thank you.
Any other comments? I'll briefly add, number one, when you say that you addressed it individually with them, have you then later on maybe seen that same guard later on, another day of the week or something like that, and they're corrected or no?
They've gone, they've been following protocol. The two guards that I've seen follow protocol.
My only recommendation is talk to them individually, but also let the manager know so that the manager can let JP know and he can talk to, you know, SFM, and it could be handled, I think, from the administrative level. From I don't know if you show up and you're like, I'm Councilman Fernandez, you know, and so you should listen to me, but otherwise they're kind of just like, you know, that, especially if they're unaware of the policy or anything like that, they'd rather probably hear from their boss.
No, and I agree with you. The only reason why I didn't was because
Yeah.
it was corrected. And I thought, you know, I don't want to get them, I'm not there to get them in trouble or for them to get written up for any reason. But yeah, I think
You
it's
can do both. You can let them know, but
And then-
also
and then-
also report it to the
report, yeah.
to the manager. I had a question on Section 1, on Miami Lake Section 1. How has the implementation gone there? Have we seen any issues, any hiccups, anything like that?
John from SFM could speak further on that if there's any questions on hiccups on their end. But I can tell you we haven't received any reports of any anything.
John, just make sure that the little green light at the bottom of the microphone is on.
I think it's on.
Yes, it is.
John Frensdorf, SFM Security Services, Vice President of Security Operations. Thank you for your question, Vice Mayor and council members. No, we've had no issues. It has been a clean implementation. We've had no encounters that would suggest any type of issues. We have implemented a protocol to de-escalate any situation. So we are pretty much aware that this may create an issue for residents who may feel that we're interfering with their rights. So we have implemented a de-escalation protocol that we discussed with JP, and we came to an agreement that it was best that we trained our security officers on those protocols. So that has been correct.
And so no protesters just sitting on the lane, blocking it, nothing like that?
No, and our security officers have been instructed that if someone were to block any lane, they would simply place a cone on the back of that vehicle, indicating the rest of the residents that wish to enter to use a different lane. And if the person requests police support, we'll tell them that they're welcome to call the police, that, you know, we're not preventing them from entering the community. It's a public road, as JP correctly indicated. And we will wait for the police to arrive and address the situation.
But do you have a protocol where your guard calls the police?
No.
No?
We will only call the police when we have a situation that requires the police's attention. If I may add, we also created a protocol prior to this regarding suspicious vehicles. So we discussed with JP that there are certain criteria that we will be looking for, and if a vehicle matches that criteria, that's when we would implement that protocol.
Okay, good. That's great to hear. One last question on the ID checks as it relates to Royal Oaks East and Royal Oaks Section 1. The Royal Oaks entrances that have a single lane in, single lane out, no resident lane, right? And it's also a little bit of a shorter approach than what you would see at Miami Lake Section 1. Have we encountered any issues where maybe this has caused a backup where now cars are kind of waiting
On 82nd.
like not able to turn into the street where the gate is? Any issues like that we're aware of?
I'll let JP comment, but this normally occurs during the
At night.
school season primarily.
Well, I think he's referring to
Oh,
just the ID checks.
Oh,
It would be
okay.
from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. where
Oh.
there's very light
No.
traffic, so.
No.
I figured, but I just want to be sure.
Yeah.
Councilman Sanchez? Thank you, by the way.
No.
The security guards that are part of the 4 special taxing districts, though, are they, so for example, if person X is one day at section 1, is that person always at section 1, or do they rotate between the special taxing districts? Like one day they'll be at section 1, another day they'll be in Loch Lomond.
Yeah,
another
no, I
day
understand.
they'll be in Royal Oak.
We normally schedule our officers to work at one guardhouse. However, manpower situation is very fluid, and we may need to utilize a security officer at a different site. So when that happens, we will assign a supervisor to provide training to that officer to familiarize the officer with the special requirements of that guardhouse. Although our post orders may be the same, there are certain nuances to each guardhouse that we need to make each security officer aware of.
Understood. All right, thank you.
Through the chair.
Councilman Fernandez?
Real quick, I have regarding a suspicious vehicle, do you have anything in your technology that'll allow the guard to note, like a check mark or something, where after they take a picture of the license plate, that they note it in some manner that if it came back up or there was a break-in or a crime occurred, that they would be able to go back and see that particular car was somehow noted, or at least they had something that gave them a suspicion about it?
Whenever we receive information about an incident occurring, we will normally receive a request from JP to identify a certain vehicle within a certain time frame. We will go back and we will research our database and we will identify a picture of that vehicle. And we have done that multiple times.
So just to piggyback off that, what we'll receive a request from the police department asking, hey, can you see if you could pull up the report from this time to this time? There was a vehicle, there was a robbery. They already identified the vehicle probably through the LPRs. So they'll let us know and we'll provide that report to give them an exact time frame of when it occurred. It could be through the LPRs, it could be through their investigation, through the Ring cameras that somebody picked up the vehicle on the way, and so they're just asking for the report.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments on this issue? Thank you, John, for being here.
No, my pleasure. Thank you.
And then, JP, you're on to STD decals update.
For Royal Oaks East and Royal Oaks Section 1, we are in the process of ordering 3,000 decals, 1,500 for each special taxing district. We should have that before the end of this month. We will have ordered the decals, and I am anticipating we would do the launch to move forward and pass out these decals starting in January. Why January? Why the long time frame? I'll be out for a little bit. I have a baby on the way, and so I'd prefer to being the one to implement this. So it will be done in January when I get back.
Perfectly valid reason.
Through the chair.
Councilman Garcia.
Congratulations, brother. That's awesome. Quick question. Are we handing these out to the residents, or are we giving them guidance on where to put them to make it easier to spot for the security guards to be able to see them quickly and get them through?
We're going to give guidance on where they should put the decals on their vehicle.
And that's front,
Front center, right above where the mirror would
Mirror,
go
okay.
on the opposite side, so it's not
Perfect.
blocking their view
Yep.
side of the road.
excellent.
But it's in the middle so that it's visible from both sides, whether you're coming in, for example, from 168th, where the guardhouse is on your right-hand side, or if you come through 162nd, where the guardhouse is on your left-hand side, the guard will be able to see and identify the decal as you come in.
I recommend with the handing out of the stickers, maybe a one sheet with a picture of where to put it, because once you put it on, it's hard to take off. And it's, again, if they start putting it in the wrong places, it's going to slow down traffic with them having to look around or whatever. Some people might put it on their side, or it's just that little one sheet with a visual aid on where to put it. It just, I know it sounds like common sense, but I think it'll help prevent them coming back, oh, I messed up my sticker, can I get another one, kind of thing.
Yeah, so that's the goal. We're going to be implementing a whole campaign ahead of time to kind of notify the residents of both communities that this is going to be taking place, that you'll be able to pick up your decals at Mary Collins Community Center, and the whole process where you fill out your application, how to fill out an application, all of that will be provided as soon as we receive the decals. We'll start implementing that for a month or two, and then we'll go ahead and launch. And part of when you pick up your decal, you will receive that
And
that paper that'll have that information, as well as it'll be on the website.
how big are they? Are they a couple inches long, or how? Because ideally, you like to have the guard notice it maybe 30, 40 feet away. See, oh, that's so he opens it, ready to go. Car goes through. You know, it just makes it a lot smoother. Do you know how big they are?
I want to say it's 4 inches. I don't
Okay.
have the exact in front of me, but
They're a
I
little
mean, I
bigger
could pick it
than
up.
a business card.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's from the same brand, same company that Loch Lomond uses for their
Okay.
decals, and we've had success with that, so it'll be
Perfect.
the same size.
Yeah, it sounds like you have everything. You got everything in order. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the baby.
Thank you.
Councilman Fernandez.
Congratulations. So to that point, is the protocol going to be that if there is a resident identified by that decal, they will not have to take a picture of the license plate?
That is correct.
I don't know if that was answered before, but okay,
yeah,
thank
that
you.
is correct. So if
Sorry,
you
the license plate or the license?
License plate, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
the decal will, only residents will have the decals. So
Okay.
the moment that you put the decal on your vehicle, you'll be given automatic entry into the community. No picture of your tag will be taken. You'll go straight in.
Okay.
So the only people that will be getting their tags taken, if everyone picks up their decal, of course, is visitors that come into the community.
Got it.
And then effectively, you still have that backup of the LPR cameras that are taking every single vehicle that comes in.
Right. In my case, since I'm going to always go into the east, so I have one on 79th Avenue that I have a clicker for that one. And since I'm going to sometimes I do come in from 167th Terrace and 82nd Avenue, that guardhouse, so depending on which side of Royal Oaks you're on, it would make more sense for me to put my sticker on the right-hand side, since I'm meeting that guardhouse will be on my right side. I mean, I understand why the purpose would be the middle, would it make more sense, but I think that if we give some discretion to the residents, I do think that they can put it on the side that they frequently go into their own neighborhood, and they're going to go into the same gate, and they're going to know which side of that gate they're going to be traveling, they're going to be arriving to that gate at. So I think that there should be some discretion, but I think, if you're going to have it a uniformity, then I'll adhere to that.
Just to be clear, residents are not required to obtain the decal at all. So it's completely optional. If they want to put it in their trunk, they're allowed to put it in their trunk. It's just not going to help them very much, but it is up to the resident, right?
It's completely up to the resident. We are holding 2 per household for each community. So, and then after those 2, after we've run out of those, everything else would be purchased. The price would be about $5 for a decal. But yeah, it's up to their discretion if they want to use it. We are simply suggesting where you would put the decal, but as long as it's on the windshield and the guard can visibly see it, that's enough.
Any other question?
Yeah.
Councilman Sanchez.
Congrats on the baby.
Thank you.
Dream work makes the team work. Okay? So,
Thank you.
no, teamwork makes the dream work.
I
I'm
thought you
sorry,
said
I
it
got
on
that flipped
purpose.
around. Are they about the size of the SunPass, the sticker SunPass, give or take?
More or less.
So we need to have, just to piggyback on what Councilman Garcia said, is if you create that, have a second section. If you have a SunPass, just put it directly underneath it. Just.
I'm sorry,
that's all that-
behind the SunPass, you said?
Right under the SunPass. So it's still, because some passes have to be underneath the mirror if you have the sticker, so that the sensors pick them up.
I know for me, I don't put the sun pass on the windshield. I put it on the
No, the sticker.
dashboard, and it still gets picked up.
The sticker?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you're talking about the sticker.
The sticker.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
the sticker would be
Yeah,
different.
not the
here.
transponder, the
Yeah.
little sticker.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. Automatic arm, anything else on this issue? Automatic gate arm switch for visitor lanes update.
Oh, so we've already started the process of implementing the gate arm switches. If I'm not mistaken, we've implemented all of Royal Oaks, and pending to be done tomorrow would be Loch Lomond and Miami Lake Section 1. However, we're putting in the system. Now we have to train the guards. So we're not going to be starting yet for another approximately 2 weeks. By the end of the month, we should be full steam ahead on the gate arm switches, but we need to train the guards first on that.
If I remember correctly, this is the system where when they're in the restroom or something like that, they could set it so that when a vehicle pulls up, it opens automatically.
That is correct. So the system is meant for the guard whenever they go to the restroom. It doesn't just leave the gate arm open and accessible for all. It's meant to be more of a deterrence. It is meant to use for the bathroom. It's also meant to use for whenever the guard is writing a report, which they tend to write reports, and it takes time to write those reports. So rather than just leaving the gate arm up for 10, 15 minutes while they finish writing their report, an accident report, for example, or something along those lines, this would give the opportunity to leave the gate arm open as a vehicle approaches. It'll catch the vehicle coming up, and it'll open just like it does in the exit lanes right now.
When it is activated, does it have, I guess, I don't know what the term is, something to prevent abuse, where the guard kind of just decides that he wants to take a nap, and, it may give off a little warning to you or to someone else or to their supervisors, hey, this thing's been on for 3 hours.
The automatic gate arm switch is set on a timer. So after a certain period of time, which we haven't determined yet, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. We haven't fully, because it's still being installed, we haven't just set the timer yet. But they are going to be implemented for a certain time frame where once it hits that time, it'll go right back to being down. So it can't be abused by the guard.
Councilman Garcia.
Thank you. So the LPRs are still functioning, so even though, yeah, so we're going to capture the license plates and things like that. Perfect. Thank you.
Councilman Sanchez.
Is there a log that is going to keep to keep track? It was on auto from 7:15 to 7:30 p.m. just as an example, and then again at 10 o'clock from 10 to 10:15.
The automatic switch will not have
A
a
log.
log, but we
Okay.
do have the cameras, the recorded cameras that SFM has provided that can pick up those things. So if we ever need to go back, we could look back and check at those times. The only location that would not work with regards to the LPRs is Loch Lomond. They don't have an LPR system there.
Any other comments, questions on this
Oh,
issue?
one final thing. Are all 4 special tasking districts getting the new arms?
All 4 special taxing districts.
Okay.
So
Great. Any others?
Yeah,
Councilman Garcia.
just to remind me, is Loch Lomond scheduled to get to LPR after we do the, okay, that would be something we need to discuss with the residents if they're interested in that, and
I think it's more of a discussion with the major
with the major.
on just where it makes sense. Because I know that the LPR, there was like a whole LPR plan.
Yeah.
And it covers specific roads
Yeah.
of key importance or whatever. But yeah, that
Okay.
would be I think that the entrances to these locations makes a lot of sense because
Yeah.
it gives you a visual of where the person went after getting, we have our main streets
Sure.
well covered, but then the question is, where did they go after?
After that, yeah.
So that might be a good location for it.
Thank you.
Anything else on this issue? Alrighty, we can move on to Lake Maintenance Services contract set to expire January of 2026. and update and timeline.
Yes, so our lake maintenance services contract, as you mentioned, is expiring in 2026. We are planning on putting an extension, a 60-day extension on that contract so that we could go out to bid beforehand. And so that is the timeline right now. We are expecting to put together the ITB in probably before the end of the month so that it goes out soon.
So it would be a 60-day extension from January 2026?
Correct.
Or, okay. And how long is the bid process?
I'd have to get back to you on that.
Okay. This is like the chemical treatment and like the very first item, the one that we do 2 per month and 3 per month during the summer. That's that one.
I'm sorry?
It's the contract that you're referring to. It's the same one as item A, the one that's
It's the same as item A and B. It's our lake maintenance
and
services
the fish
contract.
stocking.
It's everything. Anything that is related to the lake maintenance, which fish stocking falls under maintenance, falls under that contract. So yeah.
Okay. Do we know have we already exercised the extension?
Not yet.
Okay. And then just a lot of these contracts have you have to notify us at least 30 days before expiration. So just take a look at that, make sure that we do that extension with enough time where we're
Yeah, we're planning on doing that before the end of the month,
Okay.
which is well before the January, end of contract. So we'll be putting that out shortly.
last question from me, do you anticipate any increase in the pricing? Do you know if the market's moved on this, or is it more or less the same?
We're going to be going out to bid. I wouldn't have a number for you at this time
Got it.
until we-
Through the chair.
Councilman Garcia, then Councilman Sanchez.
Does this include any aeration or fountain or any fountain maintenance or things like any of the lakes that we're taking care of?
I plan to put that as part of the contract to get it, just as we do with our other contracts, get as part of it as an additional service in that contract, get contracted pricing already for
Okay.
the aeration system. So we have that for the next 3 to 5 years.
Because the more aeration and oxygen, the less chemicals we need, right? So there's a balance there we need to find. We might save money on the back end if we invest a little bit better on a better aeration system or fountain system that keeps it flowing, keeps the oxygenation of the lake going, and it'll just prevent in the summer times, like the Vice Mayor said, the algae blooms.
Councilman
The
Sanchez.
last time I got a quote for a aeration system was approximately somewhere between 25 and 28,000 for one per lake. So just keep that in mind. It would need to be budgeted.
Can we get volunteers with straws just to blow into the lake?
We could. We
Okay.
could.
That would be carbon dioxide. That's right. I passed science. Councilman Sanchez.
Yeah, with regards to the lakes, now se me fue de la mente.
While you remember, I just wanted to ask to make sure that I understood your point. You're trying to work it into the contract that gets sent out to bid, that the contract has a contract price on an aeration system, not that it'll include the aeration system.
It won't include the aeration system. It'll just have the contracted price.
Yeah. So
As an
we're
additional
locking.
service, this is the price of an aeration system, so that we have that number already
Just locked in.
locked in for the next 3 to 5 years of the
Okay.
contract.
I want to confirm that. Councilman Sanchez?
So it's set to expire January of 26. So the 2-month extension, does it take it out to the end of February or the end of March? Does it expire January 1st, January 30th, 31st?
It's in the middle of, it's in the middle, I could look
So
it up
probably
for
be-
you
so-
and find out. It's in the middle of the month. So
So
I want
mid-March.
to say, let's say January 15th.
Yeah, so
It would
mid-March.
end March 15th.
Okay,
If-
and then
when
is
we
the
extend.
procurement process, are they already aware that we're gonna do an invitation to bid?
I've already spoken with them about that their contract is going to expire, and verbally let them know that I'm going to be putting out an extension. So they are aware that their contract, they already knew that their contract was expiring.
Okay,
But yeah, they're aware.
okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you. Oh, wait, one final thing. How long usually are these contracts? Are they yearly, 2 years, 3 years?
It would be a 3-year contract with 2 option years.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments, questions on this issue? JP, anything else? Any other item?
So, just a couple points of discussion. The guardhouse, all guardhouses, their windows and doors, we have, they could be upgraded to hurricane impact windows and doors. We would essentially need to replace all the windows, the sliding doors, and there's a way to make it where the door would swing back when it's open. It swings back and closes automatically, which would help with the AC unit, which would help with the condensation that comes from the AC unit, and probably limit the repairs on the AC unit that we've had to face, considering all the doors are open 24/7, 365 days. So
Do we know how much hurricane-proof windows would be?
I don't have a quote for you, just a point of discussion.
Do we have shutters?
We do have shutters.
Okay, last question, and then I guess, well, no, either one of you can answer is, when we have a hurricane, there's no guard in there, right?
No.
Like, yeah, I'm like, that's extremely unsafe if there were. Okay.
The doors are in bad shape.
Uh-huh.
If you go to, as an example, Royal Oaks, we renovated the guardhouses, but the one thing that was not renovated were the doors and windows, and so some of them can't even be closed, even if we wanted to.
So the doors item that you mentioned about the automatic closing doors, that project, it's not just adding the little hydraulic pull arm. It would be replacing the actual door?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Through the chair.
Councilman Garcia?
Doesn't the county require any renovations of windows and doors? You have to put hurricane, or is that this structure not included in that?
I'm not sure.
We-
I'd have
we-
to look into it.
Yeah, because if we take out one window, we might put ourselves in a situation where we have to replace it. We have to do all of them. We have to replace them with, and we have to check, and they might come in and you know, the current standards. We have to upgrade to current standards because these buildings were built, these guardhouses were built, you know, what, 30, 40 years ago. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind when we're deciding to do that, because we might find ourselves having to really spend a lot of money to upgrade.
Councilman Sanchez?
With regards to paying for the new windows and doors, where would the funds for that come from?
It would have to be budgeted, or it could come from the contingency.
Okay, so this is a question, I guess, for the attorneys. Is this one of those situations where 50+1% of the residents of the special taxing district have to vote in favor of implementing?
I could answer that.
Okay,
It's a replacement of existing windows and doors, so it does not fall as a capital improvement.
even though it's an upgrade?
It's an upgrade of an existing item. The
Okay.
technology changes. If I change, if I upgrade from Microsoft 95 to the new Microsoft, it's still Microsoft. It's just an upgrade of the existing product.
Okay. So we do not have to go out and get 50+1 from the
My
residents?
understanding, and legal, you could answer this as well. My understanding is no.
Is that we don't need to? Okay.
No, absolutely. JP is absolutely correct. It's not a large enough infrastructure project or anything of that size. So this is just a replacement of an already existing, I guess, project.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Councilman Fernandez, but I think that's actually the first time I've had you opine on the dais.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's right.
All right, Councilman Fernandez.
I'd like my colleagues to see the shape of the doors and windows. They're rough, and I think that JP was, I mean, the fact that at least one of those doors does not function, it's kind of, it's a little embarrassing. It really is. I'm okay. I mean, I'd like to know more about how much it's going to cost. I think I've already actually spoken to you about that I think that I would be open to replacing them. But, it just depends on how much it's going to cost. I think that if they're going to be replaced, there's no question that they would be hurricane impact. But, you know, we have our own building department they're gonna pull permits. We don't have to get an additional permit, or we don't have to have the county to come look at it. As long as they're installed by the code of the doors and windows already have that standard and a sticker on them, I think that we can, you know, we'd have them replaced. But of course, it all has to do with cost, so we have to know how much it's gonna cost us.
It's not a direction, because I can't do that here, but it's, I guess, a friendly suggestion. I think this is the kind of thing that you could just bring up at a council meeting to us, as with options, of option A is only doing the doors. Option B is only doing the windows. Option C is doing everything. That way we could then at that time decide what direction we'd like to go.
I think
Also, yeah, fix the worst ones for like especially Royal Oaks that has multiple guard gates. You know, maybe an assessment of priority, stuff like that. Just give us the information.
respectfully, Vice Mayor, I think to keep it in proper posture, if one of you council members were to bring it up in a council meeting and provide direction, at that point I would come back with options for you all. But I don't know if I should go and bring this up in a council meeting with options already built up if it's not provided by the council.
That's fair enough. Councilman Sanchez.
Do we already have a vendor contracted for impact windows and doors, or is that something that we need to go out and find a potential vendor?
We would purchase, well, we could get a vendor to go ahead and install. That's one option. Another option is we purchase the windows and doors ourselves, and we have our handymen that are contracted to go ahead and install.
Okay. That will save us money, yeah. All right, thank you.
I think you had something else, or was that the last item?
There's one more thing that's here, and then I have one additional that wasn't on here. Perfect. That I'd like to, as a
Go
point
for
of
it.
discussion. So Loch Lomond's guardhouse, there are, the guardhouse hasn't been renovated in over 30 years. The current conditions, while they do not impact the level of service, there are several cosmetic and functional updates that would be recommended. I know the HOA has, on several occasions, requested, and they even had signatures brought up here, although it didn't meet the criteria for what was needed to move forward. But the interior recommendation would be to renovate the interior of the guardhouse, put a drop ceiling in the guardhouse, to put a fan and put a light in there, to also put something on the back end to close where the garbage can is. Put a fence around that so it's not visible when you're coming in. As an example, we have a similar situation in Miami Lake Section 1, that there's a fence around the garbage can. And then just, making the workspace more functional for the guard. Right now we have a lot of, it hasn't been repainted, it needs to be, the paint needs to be touched up, the walls need to be replastered, things like that. And unfortunately, with a $1,000 budget, it would not be enough to cover all the expenses that need to be done to that guardhouse. So recommendation would be to look into how we could proceed to, if we're not going to do what the HOA had recommended, which was, do a complete overhaul of the guardhouse, or add a bathroom to the guardhouse. At the very least, do some aesthetic renovations to the guardhouse.
Patrick, right? What's the status on the signatures that you guys were collecting? I thought last time you guys were gonna go back out. What was that?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, if you want to come up to the mic.
There you go. Sorry. Patrick Kunkel, 15860 West Prestwick Place in Loch Lomond. I also serve as the president of the HOA. Yeah, there's been no advancement on it right now. A lot of time has been leading up to this the last meeting. A lot of what do you want to say? Patience and what do you want? Effort has been made. So I guess after last meeting, I kind of took a little whatever you want to call it, but I do plan to bring it back up. But yeah, based on the condition of that guardhouse, the timing is of it's almost like whatever I try to get done, it overlaps what needs to be done, and probably can't wait for a process to take place. I know they're having electrical issues. Things have to be unplugged to be plugged in. The windows would be a nice, because I don't even know if our front door functions that well. I know it's a plastic thing. It works good for them, but I'd like to offer something better. But and then of course we just have a spacing issue right outside that guardhouse.
There's like no ledge. It's
That's right.
Guardhouse and then street.
Right, and you got that car right in front of you. If
Yeah,
you
it's very-
walk out to greet it.
I was
The
there
unfortunate,
like 6
I
years.
understand, I've been told the lane is legally wide enough, but it's just not functioning.
Doesn't feel.
Well, yeah, you got that, and then, even me, I'm driving a compact car, you're measuring how close you can get to the other lane without hitting the cone. You don't want to hit the guard, and then you don't, damage the guardhouse, but the construction companies, dual tires and all that, so they are coming in wide, and the garbage truck. I was surprised to hear the garbage truck is the one that hits the gate the most. So,
Because you have delineators between the
Yeah.
in lane and the out lane. You have delineators
yeah,
in between them,
just
That
the
makes it
two,
even
and the guardhouse is off to
to the right.
the right when you come in, so
Yeah.
to ask for the,
Before I go to the council members, JP, you had something you wanted to say?
Yeah, regarding the delineators, in all other guardhouses, they are delineators that are stuck into the ground. In Loch Lomond, they have to be removable because of the lack of size there. If a garbage truck comes in, many times the guard has to move the delineator out of the way, or they will run over the delineator. And so what ends up happening is when you move that delineator is what controls the gate arm. And so if it's not placed properly exactly where it needs to be, it runs into problems where the gate arms get stuck. We get a report. I have to call them I myself have to go out there, or their supervisor has to go out there to work with them to fix it and put it right back in place so that it'll work once again. So that's just an example of some of the situations in Loch Lomond.
Through the chair.
Councilman Garcia, Councilman Sanchez, you had something? So Councilman Garcia, then Councilman Sanchez.
Now, this is one of our, premier neighborhoods. It is adjacent to a tremendous overhaul, $6 million overhaul of our golf course.
12 million.
I'm sorry?
12.
12 million, look at that.
well, that's just the golf course. We
That's
got a
just the
nice
golf
building
course,
being
yeah,
put
yeah.
up back there.
And I definitely believe it, and I'm almost sure the majority of the residents want to be proud of the entrance to their community. So if the residents want it, and it's falling apart, and again, we need to make sure that we keep standards high. If the residents want it, I think the council here will work with you to make it work for you and see what we can do. Absolutely. I mean, this is just a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, the idea is you drive up to Disney World, they got that gate where you pay to pay with the park. It coincides with what you're gonna be going into. So that was kind of the idea with it, and make it functional.
As long as the residents understand that this is it's gonna cost.
Yes.
There will be a cost to it, but
Right.
I know they want a community entrance they can be proud of.
Right.
Right, so, I think we can make it work if we all put our heads together.
And it's been cleared from the start. Clear to them from the start. This will be a one-time, what do we call it? Fee that's
Assessment.
gonna have to be paid 1 year, and
Yeah.
it's not an increase in taxes for forever, but
Yes.
that 1 year you're gonna pay to get what we need or want.
Councilman Sanchez.
JP, is this considered a capital expense, or is it an expense where we do need the 50+1?
This would be a capital improvement.
So we wouldn't need the 50+1?
We would need the 50+1.
So how is this different than the capital expense of putting windows and doors?
Windows and doors
I'm
are
talking about widening the street specifically, if we can do a project to
it's
widen the
based
street so
on,
that,
I would venture to say it's based on cost.
okay.
It's a much larger cost of widening a street. You're talking about much more than the cost of a door or a window. Yeah, so I could look into it for you and get you a proper answer on the windows and doors once you guys, if you guys decide to move forward and bring that as an actionable item at a future council meeting. I'll go ahead and look into the windows and doors, and then we could move from there.
Through the chair.
Councilman Garcia.
Councilman Sanchez makes a good point, as that area where the guard house is, there are no homes on either side, right? That's the golf course on either side.
Right, like behind it.
Yeah, so there might be room to perhaps a circular expansion on this end and be able, I mean, there's opportunities there that we don't have in front of homes.
Pat and I have looked into it
Yeah.
in the past as to what it would take to open an extra lane. I've gotten quotes in the past
Okay.
for just renovating the guardhouse, adding a bathroom to the guardhouse, or a full-fledged renovation. So we've gotten
Well,
quotes on
again,
them.
if the residents, we get the 50 plus 1%, and we put together a plan, and they understand there's gonna be a one-time assessment, and we're able to do this for them. If everybody's in agreement, you know, I think it's makes sense to think of both things, maybe expand a little bit while we make the expansion of the guardhouse, put the bathroom in, all the upgrades, things we have to do. I mean, we can make this, again, the entrance of this neighborhood they should be proud of this, the entrance of the neighborhood, so we have different options if they're on board, right?
Now, that is for a full-fledged renovation. What I was bringing up to you at the start of this was just simply minor adjustments, minor changes, minor enhancements to that can be used from either the contingency or the what we have available right now. So that little things that we could take care of immediately. But that would some of that would require more budgeted funds than what's there. So we would have to probably go towards the contingency to do those. One thing I wanted to clarify that Pat had mentioned about the electrical system, that has since been fixed since that last meeting. We went ahead and just fixed the electrical system, and it's working functionally.
Through the chair.
Thanks, I didn't realize it.
1 second, because I have a point that I think really will clarify this issue a lot. I'm looking at my ordinance on this. Pat, has the HOA, every single person behind that gate is part of the Loch Lomond HOA?
That is
right?
correct.
There's no one there that's not part of the HOA?
No, membership's granted, whether they pitch in a little bit here and there, that's,
Has the HOA board taken a vote on option A, B, and C?
yes, they have.
Which one did they select?
Opinions have been expressed from board members, and then we went out into the community to get that 10%.
Okay,
and,
wait, but has the board expressed that it's the board's will that it be option A, option B, option C, anything like that?
I can't remember that. I know that some of them are included in that 10%.
Okay, because what I'll tell you is, it's a lot easier for you than it is for the other special taxing districts. Specifically, Loch Lomond is in a different position than Royal Oaks in Section 1, because what the ordinance says is that a letter of intent is submitted to the town from the applicable homeowners association, HOA, if the special taxing district has a mandatory HOA. Otherwise, 10% of the homeowners within the existing special taxing district, you don't even need the 10%. All you need is your HOA board to submit a letter of intent saying we want option A, B, or C, whichever one, as long as it's the will of, you know, your residents as expressed by you, and that'll actually kick off the gears. I have no skin in the game. I'm your administrator, but you're the owner. You tell me what you want, and we'll make it happen. I'm right on that, right? I mean, I know I'm interpreting my own ordinance that I wrote, but I'm like, you know, I didn't mess up when I wrote this thing.
that's the way that the county is, and that's the way that that's the way that the town adopted it. So, yeah, if you want to accept a letter of intent and that to move forward, the only thing is, we'd have to take a look at it and see how that reconciles with your ordinance and the changes that you made as far as for capital improvements.
What was that, I'm sorry?
The ordinance change that was sponsored by you, Vice Mayor, that created for this capital improvements, we just need to make sure that it all.
Yeah,
kind of
that's what I
all
just
gels.
read from, that.
Well, you read from the ordinance, is what I heard,
From my
right?
ordinance, I read that, the following shall be the exclusive procedures for the amendment of ordinances establishing and governing the town's special taxing districts. And then subsection 1, a letter of intent, LOI, is submitted to the town from the applicable homeowners association, HOA, if the special taxing district has a mandatory HOA. Otherwise, 10% of the homeowners, hereinafter referred to as the homeowners, within the special taxing district. The LOI is to include an exhibit containing a list of every folio and address within the boundaries. So, yeah, they can
That's
follow
fine.
that procedure, and it's a lot easier than having to go out for 10%. You don't have to, go out into the heat. Just have an HOA meeting, and, I will make a recommendation to you as a former HOA president. Do your best you can to make sure that your residents are aware when you're gonna have that meeting to discuss which option you guys prefer. So you can get as much public input from them, and then that item that you're bringing to us is the best representation of what the people of Loch Lomond want. Because, like I said, if you tell me option A, that's the one I'm going with, because I don't have skin in the game. Like everyone else, I know it's a premier community within the town, and I want it to look good, but the real question is, what do you want? Okay? Do you still have a comment? No? Yeah, so I think that addresses that issue.
All right, great, thank you very
And
much.
by the way, if you need help with that, it's my ordinance. I'm more than available and happy to help you. Like, reach out to me directly outside, and I'm happy to help. If you even want me to show up to the HOA meeting, I'm happy to do so.
All right, appreciate it, thanks.
No problem. Thanks, Pat. Thanks for always being here. Yeah, I will when JP's done. JP?
I have one more point of discussion that just unfortunately didn't make it onto the agenda. But one of the big discussions over the last couple of workshops, the budget meetings that we had for the special taxing districts was communication. And one of the topics was potentially putting monitors in to replace sending out letters and things of that nature to residents for upcoming meetings or notifications of whatever changes are being made. SFM has expressed that they would be willing to pay for the implementation of the monitors at each guardhouse. So they would cover the cost of it, and then we would be able to utilize it as their nameplates, utilize it for notifications, utilize it for a number of things that we could utilize it for notifying residents better, that would give a cost savings to residents.
What was the first thing you said? Use it as nameplates?
Yeah, like the guards' names have to be posted on each guard.
Oh, okay. And is it the monitor that you first showed us, the one that's meant for outdoors and meant for this purpose? Would it be, how do I phrase this? Would it still be the property of the town of Miami Lakes? Or would it be the property of SFM?
That would be a question for SFM as far as how they want to move forward with it. The cameras, as an example, are SFM's. They've implemented it, and we utilize it. We have access to it to monitor the cameras as well, but it is their cameras, so I would imagine it would be the same case here.
John?
Vice Mayor, I mean, this is something that JP and I just discussed. I would need to.
If it's not well enough developed, it's okay. It was
Yeah,
just-
I mean, he actually shared with me the link for me to research this. And we even discussed that for each guardhouse, we would need to identify what is the correct size monitor that we would need to look at. And it's something that we would be implementing through, several months because it's a sizable investment. And I would need to discuss with my leadership,
Yeah.
how is the best way to implement this. But the idea is that we can combine resources. SFM would provide the monitors, and the town has the software. And we actually are sometimes technically challenged by having to deliver nameplates. And so by having the software take care of that, that would be having an impact in our operations as well. So I think that it could potentially be a win-win for the town and for SFM.
And the reality is they were already looking for something on their own because of the fact that right now their nameplates are paper plates. Whenever the guard goes to the restroom, it's a paper plate that the guard has to remember to put out, that the guard has to remember to change out their nameplate. So they were already on their end looking for it, and it just so happens that we also have a need for something of that nature. So it works out hand in hand. They get what they need, which is the control over the nameplates of their guards, and whenever the guard goes to the restroom, and we get the accessibility to provide messaging on that, utilize it for when the guard goes to the bathroom, it'll automatically put that notification. We could potentially, and we already have the software. We have the software that we are already utilizing for town hall on the screens.
Through the chair.
Councilman Fernandez.
No, if we're going to save money on mailing, I think, and SFM is willing to provide it, I absolutely think it's a win-win. I'm all for it. I don't know what we would have to do to have you move forward with it, but at least for me, I'm in.
And to be clear, I appreciate it, and I think it's a very good gesture, and I think it's even more admirable that you were already looking into something like that. The only reason I bring that up is a fear of entanglement, where God forbid there is a situation down the road where we do decide that it's in everybody's best interest to part ways. I don't want a bunch of holes on the wall of my guardhouse when they take out the monitors and take out this, take out that, take out the cameras. So that's my only concern, is a continuity. Lo barato sale caro. But hearing that, in my past, I guess, experience with security companies, they many times are willing to do this as it benefits their own employees and their ability to be good at their job. So I guess there's a likelihood that if that ever did happen, that we were parting ways, the new security company, I guess, would come and bring their own. But that was the reason for my concern. Nothing against you guys. Actually, I think you guys have been excellent and very responsive to us when we do complain about a specific issue. Councilman Garcia.
Yeah, I want to echo what the Vice Mayor, I'm sorry, go ahead. You have something? I want to echo what the Vice Mayor says. Thank you so much for thinking out of the box and not only solving your own issues, but adding to a way of communicating. What I do want to point out is if we do this and we have that information, we still need other vehicles to get people information. We just can't cut out the mailings unless in lieu of mailings, we do texting, right? Are we doing texting right now to our HOAs and our information to members?
The reality is that we have a system in place for texting, and it requires people to sign up.
Yeah, they have to sign the waiver.
And as of last time that I've had this conversation before, I think it was less than 200 people that were signed up in the town.
Well, with the new monitors, we can do a sign up for texting campaign to get the information. I just want to make sure that we continue to have at least 2 or 3 vehicles of information. So it's just, because mailing is old school, but it still works, especially with our older residents. But texting now, honestly, they're using their phones, they get their text, they get that information in English and Spanish. I think if we can increase that, then we can lower our mailing costs, because mailing costs are going through the roof.
To be clear, we still have to do an annual budget letter that's sent to all residents within the special taxing districts. So that would not change. That is required.
But other cycles could be if we raise the number of people that sign up for text, we can lower the other cycles of other information being sent out.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
If we, for example, we get 90% of of the people that are, or 80% or 70% people sign up for the text, then those households don't have to receive the, except for that mailing, other mailings that we send out. We can save money on the other information we send out for other events or other meetings or things like that. Is that?
That's something that we could definitely discuss is, you know, putting together some sort of text message system for the special taxing districts. You know, just thinking, you know, off the top of my head, when we're doing the Royal Oaks pass outs of the notices, part of it could be asking them if they'd like to sign up. So if that's something that you wanted to do, it's feasible.
Yeah, because I can just tell you my kids' schools, they text me constantly, and they also have pre-recorded calls. They call and they say this is happening, things like that. I mean, if the schools can do it, I think we can figure out a way of doing it as well. It's just I know this is something separate, but it's just in addition to the monitors. If we come at it that way, more people get informed, and maybe we can save money on the mailing side. That's just my 2 cents.
Is your question for John?
Yeah.
Then go ahead,
So
Councilman Sanchez.
something that I worry about ownership of the screens by SFM is who would dictate what gets displayed on those screens. Because if you have ownership and you don't agree with what we're requesting for you to display, like if we say we want to display that our workshops are happening on X date, and SFM says no because there are screens and we want to display what we want to display, that can kind of be a little worrisome. Because at the end of the day, they are your screens.
I'll answer that one for you if you'd like. It's on they're placing their monitor on our property
Right.
because we're allowing it. So there will be an agreement between us.
Between the
There
contracts.
has to be an agreement
Okay.
between us. Yeah.
And then with,
And we also are
that's
using.
not how our relationship works.
yeah, no, I just want to make
We're also
sure.
using your software to
Yeah.
display everything on the
Yeah.
monitor.
No, it's always assume the worst and prepare for the best, you know.
And
or
actually,
hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
yeah, and actually in the brief conversation that I had with JP, we were
Yeah.
even designing a way where we have a schedule for our officers to show up at the guardhouses. But
Yeah.
as you can imagine, we have changes because life is life.
Yeah.
And so we were designing a way where we would communicate to JP or whoever he indicated the changes so they could be displayed on the screens.
Right.
So the idea is to enhance communication, make
Of
it
course.
cleaner, make it better, make it nicer, while facilitating our operations and just, improving the way the guardhouses look.
Okay. And then I don't have any more questions for you, John, but I do have for JP. So.
All right, then, John, you can go ahead and have a seat.
Thank you, John. So earlier this week, my sons are going to be volunteering at the Halloween event on the 25th on Montrose Road, and all 125 volunteers met for their first orientation training earlier this week with Arnie. They were given a 5-digit code, like a 5-digit number to text, and through that number, the individuals from the Youth Activities Task Force are reaching out to the volunteers to send them notifications. I'm wondering if we can create 4 more like that one. Maybe if we speak to who's the liaison for YATF, Ernie, and we create 1 per special taxing district. And the day they go to pick up, at least Royal Oaks, the day that they pick up their decals, the 3,000 decals that we're going to give out, we can have them sign up at that moment for the registration to receive the text messages about workshops and whatever else information we want to send them with regards to their special taxing districts, which is what you brought up earlier.
Yeah, so that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking about earlier, but that would only work for Royal Oaks, so we'd have
Right.
to figure out Loch Lomond, which
Exactly.
which would be easier because of their HOA is for everyone. Miami
And
Lake
then
Section
also
1 would be
Section 1.
the biggest difficulty to doing that.
Right.
But keep in mind that that's up to the resident if they want to participate
Of course.
in it.
But introducing them to program
it
during
would-
that time.
And we could start a campaign to have people sign up for these things
Right.
if that's the way that
Yeah, and it
wanna
could be
do.
expressed to them as a cost-saving measure at the
And
end of the
it
day.
also doesn't need to be text messages. It could be emails.
Right.
You could do emails instead. It's really, how you guys want to see fit. But I think that would be a directive
Right.
at a future council meeting if that's something that you guys want to do.
Okay, all right.
JP, any other points?
Just wanted to let you know that the next workshop is scheduled for Wednesday, January 15th at 6:30 p.m. here in Town Council Chambers.
Perfect. Madam Clerk, is there anyone online by any chance?
Sorry, no participants.
Okay. now that we discussed everything, there's not many people left, but I will, if anyone would like to speak on any of the issues that were mentioned during the meeting, now's the time. Come up and we'll happily reopen public comments. Sir, anything? Patrick, you're good? Sir, you're good? With seeing nothing further, the time is 7:40 and this meeting is adjourned.